Hello, my name is Ryan Venderlich, and I'm the Student Enterprise Manager with JA of Delaware. Thank you for checking into our recording. Sorry we missed you at the earlier meeting, but we do have another meeting that will include those details with you in the email correspondence out. Anyways, thanks for checking in. What you're seeing right now is the email that you should have received from VFairs, which is our virtual fair platform. You'll notice on your email that it should have your company or organization's name next to the word booth, and then it should include your name as well as a booth setup link, which we're going to go ahead and click on in just a moment, as well as the deadline for when you need to have all information saved and complete and submitted to us so that we can fully test out the environment. So we're going to click that booth setup link, and it's going to bring us into this booth setup guide or menu. From here, there are 6 different steps. As you go through this system, what's really cool about it is you can save your work, you can close out of it and come back at any point using that same very email link that I just clicked on, and it'll bring you back in with all of your information saved. Now, the key to doing that are these blue buttons on the bottom right-hand side of pretty much every single page or step. So always make sure you click save and continue. Otherwise, you may enter information, like you might change your booth name. And if you don't click save and continue, but you just come up here and click step 2 to move on, that information will not be there. And I'll give you kind of an example of how that works in just a second. But here you'll see that the JA of Delaware booth is already kind of pre-set up. We kind of already got ahead of the curve, if you will. Here you can change your back color panels. You can also click this button to show the dimensions of those images so that you can make sure you get those perfectly sized in a photo editor program. Also, each of these has the ability to be linked, and I'll share kind of what that looks like and how to change those later on. But I'm going to go to the booth setup layout so that you all can see. Here's kind of how you can scroll between layouts. And here's where I'm going to show you and kind of prove to you how not clicking the save and continue button will allow you to kind of maintain the same information that you had previously. So of course, I'm not going to click on one of these layouts and change it, although I could. And then as long as I don't click that save and continue, it's still going to maintain that old layout. Now, as you see, I keep scrolling because the people and the booth and the way it looks, all of those details keep changing as you keep scrolling. And there are about 100 or so different layout options. So feel free to keep scrolling until you find one that you like. Now, to kind of give you an example of that, if I click booth graphics again, here we are back to what we previously had, right? So the save and continue button really is a crucial step to making sure you have what you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and just click through step 3 here because I'm not going to save or change up information while I show you this preview. But the content links are visible just underneath of your booth, as you can kind of see in this snapshot. The way you'll see here is we have actually listed all of those content links, and we set them up kind of from left to right. So as you list them down, that will actually list them across. So if you want one, whichever one you want up first here on the left-hand side, be sure to list that one first. URLs, it does give you that option. You just click external link and then paste it in there. You can keep adding as many as you want. You click save and continue. And that takes you to the documents and videos. So here you'll scroll down a little bit. Those will be a little bit further down below the content links. But here inside, you can say, yes, I have documents that I'd like to add. And there'll be a little drop box where you can pop them in. Or if you don't have any, just click no. Now for your videos, similar to the content links or even documents, the very first one is going to be the top document or video that shows up. So whichever one you'd like to have showing first, be sure to order those accordingly. The 5th step is where you have the ability and option, it's completely optional and we're not sure at this very moment what the Q&A module engagement will look like per booth or even on the entire system. However, we are going to hopefully encourage that with our educators and in terms of helping to prep the students. But here you have the ability to add a user to the booth. So this could be a colleague or an associate who is available on May 5th when we're having this event. And you could have them start for a certain time, end at a certain time. You can also come in and add additional timing to that very member. And then they give some great naming kind of conventions on how to best represent yourself during this chat functionality. There's some really great details that we'll go into about the Q&A chat functionality later on, including a live demo a couple weeks before our fair launches. But we'll be in touch with that, so be sure to stay connected to us. We're going to go ahead and move on to the very final step, which is step 6, review and finalize. Here you do have the ability to, if you want, add, this is where it kind of reviews all of that information that is set up from step 1 to step 6. This is information that I kind of share, and then you all have the ability to go in and edit your booth, the description, all of your content links, your documents, and your videos, and double check to make sure all of those look good. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, so I'm going to real quick go back to that on the videos section is, and I'm going to go ahead and open a new tab for you all to see this, is when you're getting the video URL, we encourage getting the long URL, which is actually the URL listed in the browser. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up a YouTube video, maybe one of these ones that we've done before. I think this is actually our JA of Delaware channel. Perfect. So let's go ahead and just open up or check out this JA It's My Job session 1. Now, if you're on this looking at it, you can right click this, right, and it'll give you options. But just to make sure, what I recommend is click on the video, and what that's going to do, and we'll pause this, is it's going to give us this link up top in the URL. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that or hit select. I'm going to copy, Control C. And if I were to add that, I would just add another video and I would paste that link right in here. The short URL is the one that shows up when you might hit share. So this is the one that we do not want. And the reason why is when you're looking at these videos, we have the ability to kind of have them open up in the platform, but certain links will take students to an external or another tab on their browser to have them watch another video or check another piece of content out. So the long URL keeps the video here in the screen. Review and finalize, you submit that information. So at the very bottom, you'll see a button that says Submit Booth. That'll notify us to let us know you are complete and done. Now, before we leave this booth submission and I show you what our kind of booth lobby looks like to a certain degree, or I should at least say the booth hall. So when you are on this system and you're working through these steps, if you have any hiccups or challenges or issues and you need direct, immediate support, whatever time of day it may be, you can go ahead and fill out this VFairs technical support form, okay? Enter the information in here and start chat. And a live person will start chatting with you. And most likely they'll be able to look into some of the back-end information and help correct or fix some of those maybe issues. So if you have any questions, feel free to utilize this chat feature, okay? If you don't want to use that, you can always reach out to me or any of our program team members through the email that you'll get with this recording. So now let's jump into what the booths look like here on the actual system. So this is what the booths will look like for the students or any other attendee on our May 5th date. I'm just going to scroll to the right just a little bit so you all can see kind of how the booths can all have their own unique shape, look, feel, display, including all the way down to the avatars who are hanging out, standing there with the booth information. So I'm going to just stop right here with Delmarva Power being last, but what's really cool is, and we can zoom into some of these and check them out in a little bit more detail, but I'm going to zoom back on over to the JA booth so that we check out one that I'm a little more familiar with. and show you kind of how all of those details and things that I mentioned show up here for students. So again, I'll start with the content links. All that information is right here. Your name and the description that you filled out is right here. Then you have the video links that I had mentioned and the one document that we have. There's a view button, there's a swag bag, which will turn into a backpack word shortly. And then there's what I was meaning with the videos. When you click this, this opens up in the system, right? And we're not going to play that right now. But if it was the short URL, it would actually then open up into YouTube's like this. And as you can see, then it gives some of those, playing of the next video instead of just keeping it at the end of that screen, taking kids back to this screen. All right. So that's a real quick snippet on that. What's really cool about your booth information up here, like I had mentioned, you can choose to not have pictures hyperlinked, or you can choose to hyperlink those pictures. That, of course, just like these content links, will connect to an external link. However, we did go ahead and add a video here, so you can also connect videos in there and have them pop up right here in the screen. I think we have our JA of Delaware website right there, so everyone could head on over there and check that out. Just to give you a real quick snippet into how booths may look a little different. Here's AT&T's right now. Their videos are right here. So we're going to, add some more content here and make sure they're good to go. But let me go to, Bank of America. Here they have a few more content links as well as a description, videos, and documents. So just to give you a sense of kind of what we're trying to provide to students and give them a little bit of a taste of career opportunities and what it's like to hopefully one day work for such a company. And then, of course, it can take you back to the floor and they will get to preview all the booths. So that's just a quick preview for right now. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help out. If you have any questions as you go through this booth setup form, feel free to reach out to VFairs or us, and we'll be more than happy to provide you that support. We will also have another booth demo day coming up here in about a week and a half or so, based on today, which is Tuesday, the 16th. And that will be on not this coming Friday, but the following Friday, which is March 26th at 9 a.m. But we'll include that in the email that we send out. At this time, I really appreciate you for checking out this recording. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you. Bye.